welcome back, Binder and Unreal Adventure fans. When we last left on our last episode, I was just bending up the fender behind me. Spent the last few days getting the fenders completed, wrapped on there, getting the fenders trimmed. It's been an ordeal, to say the least. Pretty satisfied with the work. It's not perfect, but it should be good enough. I may have to replace this driver fender here in the end. I'll have to talk to whoever does my body work on it and see if my gap ended up being too bad. What ended up happening is after I got everything built, and you start kind of fitting the fender, and it's hard to feel what's holding the fender from going on. Stuff's just kind of jammed up now. That's what happens when you weld on things. Things kind of distort a little bit. So I ended up having to do some rust repair on this green fender anyways, trimmed up around the windshield frame. That's where things were kind of bunching up. And after that, it freed it up, and then it changed my whole profile on what I had already worked on all day long on over the fender. Pretty happy with it. When I got to the passenger fender, kind of already had a heads up of what I might expect. Preemptively did a little trimming around the windshield frame on that fender. It went in much better, trimmed. I still had to add a piece. Honestly, I had to weld a little piece back to the fender onto it. But in the end, I'm pretty happy with it. And I'm kind of glad to be, quote, done with this part of the build so far. There's still some work underneath on the front that I have to do to match the inner fender to the outer to kind of keep from mud just getting all thrown up and tucked in there. But I won't know that until I build the suspension, get the frame under it, and start flexing things out. So last Friday, a few more parts actually arrived in for this project. One of the things was my ultimate rear Dana 60 axle. I bought it in kit form because I was initially planning to build it narrower than the 69 inches that they normally build at. And after all the fuss and huss and everything, I ended up building it at 69 inches. So I took the whole thing over to WFO Concepts. They're about 5 miles down the road from me. They're a great off-road shop. They've got the bigger equipment to weld those spindles on and set it up. It's badass. I'm totally appreciative of those guys going through. It was the first time they had to put one of these together, and it was a lesson for all of us. But anyways, 538 gears, ARB locker, just like the front end. Really glad to have it back. While I was there, I picked up a tie rod kit for the front axle from WFO. This is one of their aluminum tie rods, total beef. Aluminum has a little bit more memory than steel, so if I do go to bend this thing, it should bounce back. I've also asked them to make me a custom drag link in aluminum for the same thing, 33-inch length drag link. So they're going to be working on that, making me one for that, and for Hideous too, for down the road. A couple other parts that I picked up from WFO while I was there was their brackets to mount the PSC ram I'm going to be putting onto the front axle. So these are the exact same parts I used on Hideous. And then also the anti-wrap bar works just great for keeping the rear axle from wrapping up on top of the spring under suspension. But I picked up another kit just like what's on Hideous, and we'll be installing that as well. Okay, so here's the frame that we're going to be using on Wide Scout. I will be replacing the original frame. I think it's bent, maybe not. I'll know when I get the engine tranny out. I can get a tape measure to it. But regardless, I wanted to start with a frame from a very early Scout 2. A couple reasons, although I don't think they're much thicker, but I just think they're welded better. On top of it, there's also some holes, oval holes that are missing on these early frames that the later frames had. And I figured the less holes, the stronger the frame, because some of these locations of the oval holes is where Hideous has cracked the frame on. So I want to preemptively fix all that ahead of time, especially while I got it here sandblasted in this state. I'm going to be whacking just about every single mount off of this thing except for like the body mounts. All the e-brake brackets, exhaust brackets, transmission, the suspension brackets, bump stop brackets, everything's going to be getting whacked off of here. And the other thing I'm going to do is, again, like I said, some sections of the welds on the frame are poopy to say the least, and Scouts are been known for that, not having the best welded frames. I'm going to be pretty much grinding out a lot of the welds on the frame because this is a two-piece frame. A lot of people think it's a rectangle. That's one piece. It's not. It's actually a bottom and a top welded together on both sides. So we're going to grind out a lot of these welds, and I'm just going to re-weld it all. And then hopefully I don't have to go through all the re-welding of frame cracks like I did on Hideous. using up about every battery that I had on for all my cordless Milwaukees. I switched back to my old corded one. Got all the mounts ground off except for the rear cross member. We'll finish that up. Just got to clean up a couple more welds. The idea is cut everything off so I am not having to build the rig around certain parts of it. Instead, let me build the rig and then I'll put new exhaust hangers and new emergency brake cable holders and all that fun stuff where I need them to be, not where they currently are. A couple things I just noticed. So like previously, whoever was working on this frame had like beefed up the front spring hangers. They had extra gussets on, and same thing with the rear. They were doing something to this frame because they'd already cut off the engine mounts. My suspicion was probably was gonna, LS swap it or swap it to a Chevy, but not this time. I'll be putting IH engine mounts back in this bad boy. But whoever was whacking on these old engine mounts, I just noticed put a nice slice in the frame on each side. No big deal, we'll just weld that up. Okay, so got all the things whacked off of there that I want to get whacked off of there, with the exception of the rear frame cross member. Got a couple more welds. Reason I'm replacing this, not just because it's bent over here, but we sell this heavy duty, super thick rear cross member from Fife Scout Works. My buddy Jason Pfeiffer out of Arizona owns this company and sells certain Scout parts and does Scout repairs and stuff. And anyways, he came out with this cross member, and I knew regardless, like I said, if this thing was bent or not, it was going to get one of these heavy duty cross members, much thicker spot to weld and mount the bumper to, and as well as anything else. Alright, so we got all the old cross member off. I'm going to tap this into place, measure. Fortunately, I've got White Scout right behind me with its frame, so I can double check my measurements on, and then just throw a couple tack welds. Everything, I'm going to try to just tack weld for now until I verify and make sure when I put the body on, and like all the suspension brackets, everything's got to fit this thing before we weld everything up. Cross members on and tack welded on. One thing to keep in mind if you go to put one of these on is the cross member is thicker than your original mount, so that's going to shim your body up a little bit. So you're going to probably, to keep everything level, you're going to want to like throw a washer on the other 3 body mounts so you don't get a little bit of a kink in your body, so to speak, when you tighten all this back down. I actually beefed up my body mounts on this tub, and I welded a spacer to the back cross member. I kind of wish I didn't. I may end up taking that back off, but that would help level for my case. But keep that in mind. And again, if you need these cross members, super heavy duty, they're on our website, I think under the frame section or the Scout 2 section. So, okay, so one of the things I wanted to do was make our CPT reverse shackle thing a little bit taller. And one way I was going to do that on the front of the frame over there was basically weld a piece of channel and raise this up. But ran into a little bit of a snag, but a good one. Alcan sent me different bushings in these springs. I had mentioned to Lou when I saw him at SEMA that I was eating quite a bit of bushings. So he put these in here, but they're a little bit wider than my Fang. I could grind this down and make it fit, but instead of raising it the way I'm going to do, I'm going to actually weld plate onto the side of these things to extend them over so that then this will fit over that, and I get my little bit of extra height that I'm looking for. Normally I'd be welding over on the table, but welder's right here. I just need to make a quick tack. And what I'm gonna do is take my 2 side brackets, line them up on my tube here. I'm gonna throw a quick couple tack welds on this thing. Drill the final hole here. That way these brackets are matching exactly. And then finish sanding this up. We got 2 brackets. I'm gonna make 2 more. I'm gonna weld the suckers on here. And go like this, that. We'll make sure they're right. And we'll be wide enough for the bushings and the Alcan springs. And I get my little bit of extra height that I've been wanting out of this, which is dang near a full 2 inches. A little more than that. So that'll get about 2 inches over what Hideous is, and it should work out pretty good. I mean, that'd be like 3 inches more. So again, it's stretching it out a little bit for the height, but I'll need it for sure, definitely under articulation. Again, the goal is to run 37-inch tires minimum, but if this thing will fit 40s in the end, it'll get 40s. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm going to build another set of brackets and weld them on and keep working on the frame. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check in the next episode. Should have by then like a lot of the suspension done on the framework. I'll go over it, let you know what we did, and then maybe even the body sitting on it so we can start seeing where we're at. I know King of the Hammers is coming up week after next. Got to do a little bit of prep work on Hideous after the last couple snow runs. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you.